Okay, so we all by now probably have heard about the horrible situation that happened on United Airlines, right? Am I right? Any of you guys new to this? Well, here's everything you need to know about what everyone's been talking about. So starting off this really crazy list, and at number 10 with what happened. On April the 9th, United Airlines overbooked their planes at Chicago O'Hare Airport, and they asked volunteers if they can give up their seat and, take the next flight. This is because 4 United Airlines staff was needed to get onto the plane because they're needed in Louisville, Kentucky. When there wasn't enough people volunteering to get off the plane, they had to just select them at random. The airlines was offering $800 at the time to get off the plane. And that's when this man right here was asked to get off the plane, but he refused, and then this happened.
Oh my god! No!
So what you guys just watched was brutal. But what you saw was this man getting knocked out and then dragged off this plane. His dignity was thrown right outside the plane window. This is absolutely no way to treat anybody. And I'm sure there was a million different ways this situation could have been handled. At number 9, let's find out who this man was. Well, this man was later identified as 69-year-old Dr. David Dow, who is a Vietnamese American doctor who treats patients at a hospital, and he also owns his own practice. Dr. David Dow studied at a medical school in Vietnam before he was forced to flee the country to start a new life. Little did he know that years later he'd be all over the news with millions of people talking about him and now putting him under a microscope. Dr. David is a father of 5 and a grandfather. At number 8, let's talk a little bit more on how this escalated and who exactly was involved. Flight attendants were initially the ones who went up to this man at random and asked him, "Hey sir, can you get off the plane?" Dr. David explained to them that he was a doctor, he can't afford to rebook because he had patients the very next day. The United Airlines employee then called security and they told him of what the situation was. Chicago Aviation Department security officers and police officers arrived on the scene. Looking at the video clips that has been viewed millions of times, you can see the police officers were getting very physical as they tried to remove this guy from the plane. One officer was seen slamming him right in his seat, and then he was knocked out and then thrown onto the ground of the plane, and then the officers literally dragged him off of the plane. You guys are seeing that right now. I mean, so disrespectful. At number 7, we actually have a new clip that has just been released. Many people on the plane was filming what was going on, and I'm sure there's gonna be more and more clips. But the one we're talking about right now on this video is this one.
I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home.
Apparently Dr. David Dow was able to escape being held by the police, and he was able to somehow run back onto the plane. All the pictures you guys are seeing of him online of him being bloody are from this video. Dr. David Dow was seen running back onto the plane disoriented, saying, "I have to go home, I have to go home." You just feel so bad for this guy in this moment. He then holds onto the curtains of the back of the plane, holding on in hopes that someone would just tell him to, just go back to your seat, be seated, we're gonna take off soon, and you can go home. So now that this video has surfaced, this guy's life is being looked at so closely under the microscope, and we're finding so much information about him. At number 6, let's talk about how this situation affected Dr. David Dow and the passengers. Going back to this clip, listen to what the doctor says.
Just kill me. Just kill me. Kill me. Just kill me. I have to go home. Kill me.
He was just saying, "Kill me, just kill me, I want to go home." He seemed super distressed and confused about what exactly is going on with him. Everyone is still on the plane during this moment. Going back to this part of the video, you can see again the doctor being dragged off, but listen to this woman right here.
No, this is wrong. Oh my god, look at what you did to him. Oh my.
This woman was just freaking out. This isn't something you want to experience, on your way home or, to your vacation. This is not a way to start a vacation. This woman, along with the other passengers on board, witnessed this man getting knocked out and just being dragged all over the floor with just blood all over his face. Number 5, let's find out the backlash United Airlines have been getting. Millions of people have been taking it to Twitter and other social media. They've been taking it online, but on Twitter, they said stuff like this. "Beating and bloodying a 69-year-old doctor is protocol at United?" Another person tweeted, "In any big company, staff will sometimes do stupid things. At United, the CEO then endorses the stupidity and claims it as company policy." This tweet reads, #United, pay for your ticket, sit down, get attacked, bloodies, and humiliated, and then the CEO is now saying that the person deserved it. #shame. For more of these tweets and roasts against United Airlines, make sure to check the links down below. Danny is making the video right now. It's probably out by the time you watch this video. We'll put it down there. You guys can just read. It's just a lot of stupidness that's been going on. Also, United Airlines company value has been taking a huge beating, and this comes in to number 4. Right now, the stocks have dropped so much, and there's so many different news outlets covering the story, so the numbers at this time of this recording might be slightly off due to a ton of updates and quick changes to the company value and the stock market. So at the time of, well, I was gonna say at the recording, but at the time of when I was scripting, the stock market lost $300 million, which is about 3%, but now new sources are saying $1 billion. Now this is a story that's going to get bigger and bigger. Everyone is boycotting United Airlines. This situation has for sure damaged the reputation of the airlines, and for me already, I'm thinking of, not booking with United Airlines, because apparently if this is company policies, I for sure don't want to be a victim of one of their policies. Number 3, let's talk a bit about the CEO and why people are upset at him. The CEO of United Airlines is Oscar Munoz, who is an American businessman who was named president and chief executive officer of United Airlines, and this is back on September 8th, 2015. So you know what? Not too long ago. So at first he made a statement saying everyone followed the policy, but then with the backlash he was forced to apologize. The public was trying to also force Oscar Munoz to step down as the CEO because they do not like his policy. Since then, Oscar has addressed the public again, saying that he felt shame to what happened, and he has vowed that this will never happen again. He also said, and I quote, "We're not going to put law enforcement official onto the plane to take them off. To remove all booked paid seated passengers, we can't do that." So now after that statement, there was more outroar because people were now saying that he's now trying to put the blame on these police officers who attacked this doctor and dragged him off the plane. They're trying to separate United Airlines and the police officers and just say United Airlines didn't really have too much into this. Number 2, let's find out if an airline can legally kick people off, like a paying customer, off a flight. Well, the answer is yes, for many different reasons. There are many protocols behind every type of situation. According to the data from the US Department of Transportation, 46,000 passengers were involuntarily taken off flights in 2015 alone. When you have to take someone off the flight, you have to offer the money in compensation. In this situation, United Airlines first offered just $400 for this doctor, and then he offered, okay, let's double it, let's make it $800. Number 1, let's end off this video talking about a few things. There's a lot of things that, this could have been handled differently, this situation. The airlines could have offered a bit more money to see if, and another person would take this offer. I mean, offer $1,000 or $2,000. That's gonna tempt a lot of people. I mean, hey, I might get offered $2,000 and take the next flight in 2-3 hours. This would have avoided losing $1 billion in your company. Just offer $10,000. I'm sure at that point you'll get someone off. Heck, I think you'll be flying with an empty plane because who would stay on? There could have been so many different things this airline should have attempted before calling the police officers and security guards to physically remove this guy from the plane. This whole thing just upsets me. And I guess on a final note of this video, the officers who were involved in this situation have been suspended. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in a new Most Amazing Top 10 video.